Hi everyone, we've got Lucinda again today. Let's dive straight in and see what she's got to say. Worst food on the road, or worst experience on the road, or both, one of each.
You've been privy to a few of these, sorry, Bamber.
Sorry?
I really quick, I tend to follow more of a plant-based diet. So I have been on shows where my dinner has consisted of rice.
Yep.
I have also been on shows or things where my food has consisted of lettuce and what has amounted to probably 2 slices of a cucumber cut into 4. So 8 weird square circle things of cucumber.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fill me up. It's not particularly filling.
No.
There has been some amazing though ones. But yeah, so generally speaking, following a more plant-based diet,
Yeah.
it causes issues for some people. It also is not ideal because I'm also allergic to quite a big food. When it comes,
It is quite amusing when you tell people.
Okay.
To be honest.
So for all of you viewers out there, I'm allergic to chickpeas. I don't know how or why it happens, but it happens, and it's not good when I have chickpeas.
No.
So being trying to get proteins and stuff, or anything else from legumes is great when you don't eat meat, but at the same time it also means that falafel and hummus are out the door, and people always put what would be a vegan meal full of chickpeas, chickpea curry, chickpea dal, all that kind of stuff, all of the good stuff, which is fine and it's lovely, but I can't eat it, so I don't. So that's kind of bad. And then there's been like I've actually there wasn't any food on site one time for me.
No food is definitely the worst
classic.
kind of
Yeah,
food.
that's the worst kind of food. The worst experience on the road, I don't really have any. I've been pretty lucky.
You're so positive, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it just brushes off.
Maybe that's true. Maybe that is true. But yeah, I just, for me, like, there have been a few bad times, or just struggles, or just intense stuff, or absolute mind melts of shows. But at the end of the day, like, they make you as an engineer, so the worst experience on the road, I don't really, maybe it's just that I've blocked it out and I have a really bad experience and now I just don't remember it anymore. But yeah, I just, any experience does make you grow, and I'm a lot less sensitive to certain things. Like, I used to take everything I still kind of do, but with time and with confidence as well. Now I've been engineering, as I said, for a long time, so it's something that would have really emotionally hit me, or that I would have struggled with, like, if there was a little bit of feedback or something like that, and I'd be devastated for such a long time afterwards, because I should have done better. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's not you don't know where it's coming from. It might be coming from somewhere else. Something else might have happened. You can never tell. So experience wise, I don't really have that many bad experiences. I would class them as just experience. I'm seasoned in it, but I would not class it as a worst experience. Yeah, the food thing's definitely a thing though. Definitely.
Yeah.
Do
you want to go best experience or best food on the road? Polar opposite to that.
One
Anything
time
that stands out?
One time they felt so bad that there wasn't any food for me. That I got my own plate of loads of stuff and I had a better food meal. I've actually probably got that picture. You know what gig this is as well. It was the best. It was so nice. It was amazing. They've made me like some wraps and stuff. I told them I can eat chickpeas, and they'd basically made a chickpea curry, and then there was falafel and hummus as snacks and stuff all day. And yeah, I barely ate all day. And then, they made me this massive plate of stuff. I had loads of fresh fruit and everything was just for me. So I had this massive plate, whereas everyone else
We're all very envious.
Table. It was even better. It was my birthday as well, which was incredible. It was like the best birthday food ever. Dead good. But yeah, so yeah, no, I'm, food is nice, but it's just, I don't expect much anyway from food on site,
No.
And even when you get a nice meal, I feel bad about it because I'm like, I should probably be working. Oh, okay. I'm now morally obligated to do a better job, even though I'm already doing my best job.
110%, Lucinda. Come on.
Always.
Yeah, me and Connor were just saying about like, we carry around snacks with us now in our pelly cases and stuff because there's like always times that you need to eat.
Yeah.
And it's not always provided when you want it or when you need it or stuff you can actually physically eat.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's never fun. But, we manage, don't we?
Oh, we get by.
We do what we can.
Many a cheese-free pizza's arrived at my venues with cheese all over them. It's like, well, that's useless. I'll go to McDonald's. Thanks. I don't want to go to McDonald's. But
yeah,
I'll go to McDonald's. Cheers, guys. I've got Dante as the next question.
Yeah.
Yes or no? So that's kind of like digital versus analog.
Yeah.
Not specifically Dante, but Maddie and everything incorporated into that question.
I enjoy it. You've got a lot more options using it.
Yep.
The signal's cleaner. You get reduced loss and stuff. I mean, it's great and it works, especially.
It's lighter to pick up.
Yeah. It's
Oh, she's gone.
I mean, it's true. It's so true. It's less of a workout. But maybe you want to work out at work. Maybe. Who knows? No, I'm very supportive of that. I mean, I have had a few Maddie cables go down during a situation every once in a while. But yeah, that's why you've got backups, right? And it just makes good sense to back up your backup. So
triple redundancy.
Yeah. Yeah, it works. It's great. Especially with media and festivals. Everything's bigger now than it was.
Yeah.
I mean, even 10 years ago, like as much there's such a beauty in analog. And I don't think it will ever lose that, but it has enabled like Dante, Maddie, all this kind of stuff. It enables better sound quality over bigger spaces, bigger audiences, bigger festivals. It just enables more accuracy when it comes to a translation, like what we were saying earlier, or what I was saying earlier about, translating what an artist wants to an audience. Like that is our job at the end of the day, and these format of digital ways of transferring signals and all that kind of stuff, it enables us to do that essentially. So I am for it, but I am still an analog girl. There's nothing that beats just being in a room with someone playing some tunes. It's great. I love that. But it's still for the industry, for what we do, for how much it's grown. It's needed, really. If you want to do big scale stuff and big scale festivals, like worldwide distribution of anything, it helps. It's more accurate representation. So yeah, I'm pro processing.
Amazing. Should we move on to favourite mics? So what about your favourite kick mics? Are you two kick mics, one in, one out? Are you one out? Are you one in? Or what's your favourite mic?
I am. I'm one of these people that will use both and then not use one if I don't want to when it comes down to whatever format I am using. If I'm on stage, we normally have an in and an out. Obviously, for me, it makes more of an impact if I'm on monitors to have... depending on what the drummer wants, essentially. So if I've got the out, so if you want more heartbeat, so how I would describe it to a band would be if you want more heartbeat, or if you want more attack. So those, so if they say, "Oh, I need more kick," I'll go
click or punch to me.
Do you want? What? But then for me as well, if I'm working with people who don't necessarily, again, like me talking on terms anyone can understand. Like, do you want heartbeat? Do you want or do you want like attack on it? Like, where's do you need to hear it or do you want to feel it? Like, So
both. That's great.
Yeah, and equally, if you've got both, you can have both. But yeah, it just depends what you need. So I am an in and an out fan, and then I will use whichever I need. Generally, it'll be the in, especially for drummers. but then for everyone else on stage, like maybe the bass player will want it in, but then for someone else, like for a lead singer or something, it'll be more of that actual time that they're trying to keep. So so it'll be maybe an out. As far as mics go, I'm a fan of a Beta 52. I'm a fan of a D6 purely because whatever you put a D6 on sounds like it sounds like a drum. It's great.
Yeah, it sounds good.
So I am a fan of a D6, but not necessarily on a kick drum. I like D6s on toms actually.
Floor toms, yeah.
They sound great on a floor tom. Any of the kind of there's a few more large diaphragm drum mics which are really nice. I'm just a fan. I'm just a general fan of an in and an out. So whether that be a 901 or something similar in, and then a 52 on the out, which could be, or it could be a D6. Yeah, it could be anything.
So you're not a gear snob.
I'm not a gear snob when it comes to that. In a studio, again, no, I probably wouldn't, because I like it sounding pretty natural. So there's probably a few that I've forgotten. I'm
901 and 91 in, and 52 out.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Because I mean, it fits in every occasion, whether or not whatever you're doing. Sometimes I like to experiment whether or not you're going underneath the stuffing in the bass drum or sitting it on top of the stuffing. So
I haven't gone under.
Yeah, it changes the sound, but it's worth it depending on what you kind of need or what you're wanting to get from the recording. But yeah, something standard like that has kind of become my standard mics for a kick drum, really. I'll have a little think about anything else.
Yeah. What about snare?
I've become, I know this is kind of a touchy subject. I've become a fan of putting a Beta 57 as an under snare, not as an over snare, because I don't really, I'm not quite on that side of the line yet. But as an under snare, I really like the Beta 57. It just gives it that extra snap. When it comes to live, if I had a choice, 609s, Sennheisers on a snare sounds great, really great.
The square ones.
Yeah, the square one, the guitar ones,
the guitar amp ones.
Yeah, so there's 906s and 601. 906s and 609s.
609, yeah.
So I mean, they're similar. They're not the same. They're similar. Whichever one is available, they both sound pretty good. On a snare drum on top, a 57. You cannot go wrong in a live situation. You can't go wrong with a 57 on a snare. What else? Yeah, maybe just kind of that. If you're lacking or short of mics, having a little 604, like a little tom mic on the snare drum, that works just as nicely. Again, depends on the function, but if you've got an up and a bottom or a top and an under snare, like having 604s doesn't really make that much of a difference unless you're in a recording situation, in which case it does. So.
Yeah. What about guitar amps? Like, what do you mic a guitar amp with?
I like 906s and 609s. And this is a good mic for it as well. This one that I'm currently speaking into.
SM7B.
SM7, yeah. Stuff like, what else? MD421s as well. Yep. They're a bit more frustrating though because they've got a plastic clip and I don't like that.
Yeah, the clip's terrible on that.
It's the worst. But the mic's great.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
I mean, 3D printers are now a thing, and I'm sure there are some good clips we could get printed up.
Yeah.
What about vocal mic or vocal mics if you've got a different preference for wired and wireless, male and female?
Yeah, I mean, for vocal mics, again, it kind of frustrates me how like the mic that I'm currently using is
SM7B.
It's very good for a lot of things. It's very good for a female vocal. It's very good for a tenor voice. It's kind of good for belty things. It's pretty good for not particularly low stuff, but it's a lot of people use this mic now, and it's a
great mic.
It is amazing. It's a great mic.
It's on my wish list.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good mic, and it's a strong mic, but it's just weird seeing it, especially with this boom in podcasts over the last sort of 5 years. Everyone's got one. But yeah, for vocals, I really enjoy this mic. You can't go wrong with an NT1 either on vocals. Just kind of road condensers tend to just be very good on a vocal. Again, depending on what vocal you need. But I suppose that's kind of it really. I really enjoy like bottle mics, like baby bottle mics. So I like ribbons. Again, I learned on ribbon mics quite a long time ago when I was kind of studying, and I really, really enjoy them, but they're impractical for live.
Yeah. Really.
Unless you're kind of with a folk band or an Americana kind of band, and that's the vibe that you're going for. Putting a bottle or a baby bottle on like a guitar amp or on a vocal, if you've got a surrounding choir, or you've got a lot of those vocals, if it fits the vibe, then it's great. But it's not really. I would use it in a studio, but I would never use it live. They're too delicate, really. Sure. But this mic's pretty durable. I mean, when it comes to a vocal mic like live, I would rather have a Sennheiser than an SM58. Controversial.
Same. I'm on the 835 right now.
Yeah, I know. It's
I don't own any 58s. I've got a good old stock of Sennheisers, 835s, 845s.
Yep. I've been saying it for years, and people have been going, What are you talking about? But it's 58. I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather have a Senny, thanks.
Yeah.
Just give me a Senny. And now they're kind of on, a few of them are on a bit of a vibe as well, because it does sound better for certain voices. It makes certain things a bit easier. If you want an all-round kind of sound and you want to be consistent, because everyone knows how an SM58 sounds. Everyone knows it. So it is an easy mic to mix from, because it's been around for so long that everyone knows what it sounds like. But I prefer a Sennheiser, especially if it's, like a live vocal or something. Yeah.
That's good. Favorite audio position to work in? So obviously there's front of house, monitors, patch, RF, system, and broadcast. Mm-hmm. Which one's your favorite and why?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I've said it quite a lot. I love being on monitors. I love front of house. Don't get me wrong. It can be creative, but for me, being on stage and being a part of the show, like for me, if the band are happy on stage, they perform well. If they perform well, the audience have an amazing time, irrespective of anything else that kind of goes on. If their focus is on the band, there will be, you just don't notice things as much. If something like a slight ringer is happening somewhere or something, no one really will notice it too much. If the stage is really loud, if there's feedback everywhere, or if there's something, if the band aren't happy, even if there is no feedback, but they're just not happy, and they then react, the audience then react to that, and it's just a chain reaction. So for me, that point of how important the band is, and it's again that representation of this is the artist, and this is what they want, this is their representation, and if they on stage can hear exactly how they want it to be, that in turn will support the entire rest of the show. So for me, monitors is super important.
100%.
And in a few years, it may become irrelevant with the use of IEMs, and it might be a moot point by the end of the day. Sorry, mute point, not a Friends reference. It might be a mute point by in a couple of years' time. We might not need monitor engineers anymore. But for me, monitors every time. I love being patch as well. Patch is great. I like just being in on the action, essentially. Front of house is brilliant, and as I say, you can be creative and all that kind of stuff, but I'd rather be in the thick of it and trying to sort out problems. Yeah,
me and Connor were chatting about it as well, and we're saying I'd rather mix 10 different mixes for individuals than mix one stereo mix for 10,000 people. Just don't enjoy it in the same way.
Yeah,
I like having lots more to do.
So but you're so present. That's for me, that you're there, and that's paramount for me. And if you get that buzz, if they're having a good time, like if they don't even look at you once during the show,
you're doing well.
You know that you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
And that, for me, if they're buzzing, I'm buzzing, and that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I love the like working on patch, having to mad dash around the stage and like
so
3-minute changeover.
Yeah.
Same as you.
Right, you guys do this, and I'm just gonna go run around like an idiot. You get all that stuff off stage.
You change your snapshot.
Yeah.
Press 3 buttons. I'm gonna run around stage, change all the mic positions.
Don't worry, I got this.
Stuff.
Don't worry, guys. Stand back.
It's all on me.
You're gonna be amazed.
Me and you and our colourful spike tape.
Absolutely. It's the only way to roll.
Yeah.
Bands really love it when you get to like if there's a band on stage and I've kind of got a bit of a rapport with one, even if it's a band I don't know, I've got a bit of a rapport. I'll be like, pick a colour, and I'll just be like blue, and then I'll go around and I'll spike it with blue, and then you see this little smile on their face, like, oh, if I'd have known it was that, I'd have gone for pink, and I'm like, too late now. You've already picked blue.
Yeah.
Should have thought about that, shouldn't you?
Oh well.
Should have thought about it.
Should we move on to InEars or Wedges?
Yeah. As in for stage?
Both. Personally, what do you prefer?
Personally,
what do you like on your stages?
Personally, if the band have wedges, I would like wedges, like we discussed / was mentioned earlier. I want to be able to hear what they hear.
Yeah.
One thing with InEars is, yes, you can hear if something is weird or if something is or isn't working, but at the same time, I like to be present in the room. So as a monitor engineer, even if I did have ears in, I would probably have one out. So I can hear that, but also have a reference point to if anything else was going on stage.
Sure.
I don't know, like if a mic stand's moved or if, something like you can audibly hear it, but I feel like I would be... I just like to be present in the room. I don't like to just have ears in and then not really have a reference point. But I suppose that's, I don't really work with bands who are entirely on ears. There are some bands that are, but I think, especially for right now, I would always prefer having wedges as a backup / emergency.
Okay.
Wedges, even just for like a front
side fills or something.
Yeah, or some format of like physical sound. So if anyone has any problems with this, and a lot of the time as well, especially if people are running about going mental, or if it's again like a folk band or something more
static,
less high octane.
Energetic.
Yeah. If it is something less energetic, then that's fine. They're not really going to need fills because you'll get a better representation just being there. But if it's a loud band, if it's a drum kit, like the amount of vocalists who have one ear in, one ear out because they want to hear the audience, they have no reference point otherwise on stage, or they'll get the delay from what they're hearing from out front, or anything like that. So I would always favour having some format of backup / monitoring, whether that be side fill or just like a pair on the front somewhere to give them a reference point if
when
they need
bring
to go
out
over
dancers on stage that you haven't prepared for. Oh yeah, they need to hear the track as well. It's like, well, there's no wedges in this venue.
That's happened so many times to me. Yeah, they've had there was a hip hop show one time that I did, or like a rap night kind of thing, and then there was a DJ, like a live DJ, and then in between acts, there was a dance that would happen. And that dance, like, we didn't have any monitors on stage. And then they told me, again, it was one of these, like, maybe it was, thinking on my feet kind of thing. But literally, they were like, oh, we need some monitors. I'm like, right, well, I didn't know that. Okay, let's sort that out then. Mental, really, really weird. But I'd always... Even if you have got InEars, it's good to have a backup. Simple, quick answer. Yeah.
That is a really good shout. Yeah. Butt kickers, you played around with them a bit?
I do quite enjoy having butt kickers. If nothing else, just for the drummer's reference, because if you haven't got a sub, or if they haven't got particularly good headphones,
space for a sub.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing as well. It does mean an extra thing for them to carry around. It doesn't reduce the output because if you've got a sub anyway, that's fine. So it just come out of that channel. It doesn't use any more, any less output. So just if you can have one. I'm definitely a fan of having things and then not using them. I like them. And the drummers like them as well. And if a drummer's happy, generally speaking, they'll be more...
It'll be easier to work with.
Yeah, I was going to say more respectful of stage, but that's definitely not what I mean. And it's just a case of if a drummer can't hear themselves, like they'll hit harder.
Yeah.
So if they hit harder, it will then have an impact on stage and
the vocals, getting all the drums spilling them and everything.
Yeah, and then then you start getting issues between vocalists or guitarists, or if the bass player who stood next to the drummer can't hear, then he turns his amp up, and then everyone else wants, and then it's too bassy, and then it'll go. So you're just gonna spiral. So I'd much rather have a happy drummer. Happy drummers make for happy shows, in my own personal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone loves seeing someone happy on stage as well.
Oh, it's
want
such
to see
a
someone
buzz.
Angry and whatever.
Such a buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun.
So we've come to the last question, which is favourite tool in the Pelly or toolkit. So what's your favourite tool that you take on the road with you? Something you can't live without.
I kind of have 3.
Go for it. Connor had like 12.
1, neon tape.
Yes.
Spike tape. Lots of colours of spike tape. 2 is I have a Leatherman, but I also have a mini Leatherman.
Yeah.
Which I have here.
A mini Leatherman.
It's so little. Look at it.
Oh,
look how good that is.
I mean, it's all blurred, but...
I'm sorry. Can you see that now?
Oh, perfect.
There we go.
Is that actual Leatherman or is it a off-brand? Oh, wow, it's like scissors as well.
So it's proper scissors, and then you've got all of your bits and bobs, everything you could ever possibly want in a Leatherman. And then it's got this weird thing, which it took me ages to work out what it does. Is
it tweezers?
No, well, it could be, yeah. So, I mean, I just used it to kind of when I couldn't pop in some little button things because they lost
the reset buttons. Kind of
so thing. I was just like, yeah, I'll use that. But it does actually that makes sense that it is a pair of tweezers. So there you go. I didn't learn something new every day. Yeah.
If you drop me the link of that, I'll throw a link below to that.
They're so cool. Like, look at it. And, because you need the obligatory lanyard. If you put anything on a lanyard, no one can steal it. That's my theory. Put a Sharpie on a lanyard, no one can steal it. But yeah, so sorry, I just hit the microphone. So them, they're great. And I love them lots. So I also have a big Leatherman, but this works to just have in your pocket. And it's a little pair of scissors. It's a little knife. Yeah. It's a little knife on it as well. So it's just useful because it's there and it's not as clunky as a Leatherman. You don't always need a full-on heavy multi-tool, No. And the third one, I'm sort of going to demonstrate. This is really fun. This is arguably my favourite thing that I own.
Go for it.
In fact, is that an overstatement? It's not an overstatement at all. This is great, right? So we've all been on those shows where lights go off and you can't see anything, or the desk lights. If it's a desk that's not a particularly highly, but even if it is a particularly highly expensive desk, sometimes the lights on it don't actually cover the whole desk. So you can't actually see what you're doing.
Yes.
You know the ones I mean?
I do.
All of those. So
what a great design.
So I have one of these.
On your hand?
You can't see it. There
wow.
So this is just like a glove, right? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you see that it says on, off? Is that?
Oh, yeah. It's got one on the thumb.
So it's a little light.
What? Did you make that yourself?
No, I didn't. Someone else beat me to it. I was like, that'd be really useful. So, I mean, you guys can't see it now, but essentially, wherever I aim my fingers, it's actually a workman's glove. So, if you're working in dark spaces and stuff, and you're trying to screw stuff in,
is really
so you
cool.
can see see what screw or nail that you're trying to bang in the wall. But I was like, that'd be really handy for work. So I got myself one.
You get left and right-handed versions?
You can get a left and a right hand, but
can you get them on Amazon?
You can't. I don't think it's an Amazon thing. I could probably check that actually. I can share that in a minute.
Send me a link anyway, and I'll throw it below.
Okay, wicked. What's also really good is because I'm a lefty, and I just kind of went, oh well, I'll get a left-handed one. But then I thought most desks are favoured for right-handed people. So let's just see. Most things in the music industry are basically handed for right-handed people. Like this mic stand, for instance. I had to move what side it was on because the XLR input was getting in the way of my little Tiny device.
Oh,
so it's dead annoying. Really annoying. Hate it. But, it worked. I just had to move the mic stand. I'll compromise. It's fine. But yeah, so most desks are angled for right-handed people. So you can put it on your other hand. It just means that the on-off button is upside down.
I think that's fine, though.
So, realistically speaking, depending on what hand you want to use, if you've got one, you can just swap it between hands, depending on the style of the desk and where you're working.
Have you got two?
I don't know.
Would you get two?
I bought one for me. I did buy two, but I got one for me and I got one for my dad. So I sent my dad one so he could have one when he was working on the shed and stuff. Because he likes to keep himself busy. I get all of my DIY skills from my father. But yeah, so I bought one for my dad and he loves it. He thinks it's great. I've also got these, they don't know yet, but two of my engineer friends, one of my mates saw this and was like, dude, that's awesome. I went, yeah, I know, right? So I've actually bought one of them each for those two as well, for my two mates, but I've not given them to them yet, so they don't know that they have one. But yeah, it's wicked. It's really, really fun. So they're my three things. Oh, and a torch. Yeah. Torch / headlight, like
on top of the glove torch.
Yeah, but I can find my way around stage with this. Yeah, so there's my four. So neon tape, a little mini Leatherman, a glove that's got lights on it, and a torch, because you always need a torch for stage, because stage gets pretty dark.
Yeah. I mean, you've literally told me about two things I didn't even know existed till about 10 minutes ago. A mini Leatherman and a torch that goes on your hand as a glove. I mean, what more could you want from this podcast?
I mean, I'm not all about gadgets, but sometimes I have very good gadgets, and they're very good.
They are great.
They're wicked.
One of
they're
each.
So fun.
Oh, great. So thank you for all that, Lucinda. I mean, you've taught me so much about stuff that even the gigs I was on with you've taught me about stuff. So that's been great. So hopefully see you around here soon again. And if not, we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. See you later. Thanks for having me.
We hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you could like and subscribe and leave us a comment, that'd be amazing. Otherwise, we'll see you again in another video. Cheers, guys.